We are on Tech Tour Live, crossing Western Canada, meeting with farmers across the prairies, and joined by one of our featured speakers on Tech Tour this year, and that's Nikolas Badminton, Futurist based in Vancouver. And Nick, you focus on all things technology and futuristic technology, and talking about how that could apply to the farm in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So I sort of look at the discipline of agriculture and farming and what happens within that, and take a look at exponential technologies and how they apply to the field.
So that's kind of what the farm could look like in the future, and I think in some ways that comes across as intimidating, and in some ways we look forward to some of these developments.
Yeah, it can be hugely intimidating, especially technology. Farmers look at it very skeptically. It's a lot of money to lay out for new infrastructure, new databases, new ways of working as well. So it can be incredibly intimidating, but this is just to seed some ideas of what the new future can look like, and just to reassure them that over the years they'll adopt new ways and new technologies slowly, and it will change things altogether within like 5 to 10 years.
So one of those topics that you've been talking about is artificial intelligence. When I think of AI, I maybe think of video games I played as a kid, and setting the AI up to hard, medium, or easy, that kind of thing. What does artificial intelligence mean in 2017?
Okay, so now more than ever, artificial intelligence has reached a huge level of capability with very narrow applications. So AI can drive cars, it can drive autonomous tractors, it can go through data and do analysis in split seconds. So it could go through all your farming data and find things that you haven't necessarily found. So it's got a huge amount of application, and really, like, it can be applied to robotics in the field and a number of different things.
Including in agriculture, we already do have GPS-guided systems on most tractors, and that growth will just continue?
Yeah, absolutely. But then add cameras and sensors and LiDAR to that, and it will know where it's going, it will predict what it needs to do, it might even be able to read the soil and read the planting and work out how to adjust itself. So that goes beyond GPS, and it goes beyond what the capabilities are today.
So what does that mean in terms of automation and jobs and roles in an agriculture kind of setting?
Yeah, so agriculture jobs are going to change. I mean, they actually find that driving is one of the jobs that's going to disappear with automation. So that includes drivers in the fields. So once we've got automated vehicles in the fields, then we're going to actually see that those people are going to be repurposed to do different things, likely to be like knowledge-based working, analysis, looking at the soil and making decisions that are, a higher level of capability than just literally sitting in a truck. It's not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing and that doesn't need skills, but we're just going to repurpose those people to do different things. Jobs aren't going to disappear, but job types are going to disappear.
And one of those is actually, you have a list of top 5 jobs, I think it is, that are going to disappear, and truck drivers is on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. So down in the States, about 3.5 million truck drivers. Think about 1 million truck drivers in Canada. All of those are going to be replaced within 5 to 8 years with self-driving mechanisms in existing trucks, and with self-driving trucks sort of coming out as well with it already fitted in. Because really, like, driving these huge long distances, and we've seen that as we drive across Canada with tech tours, you just don't need humans to do that. Pretty much you can set it off, program it to where it needs to go, and there you go. And then again, humans can be released to do other higher value jobs as well.
So maybe our bus driver could have joined the party in the bus last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. So one thing I think farmers think about when we hear this is there's so much variability in conditions. We think about truck drivers and driving in Canada on icy roads and variability like that. Can artificial intelligence, or where are we at in terms of the capacity to adjust for all these variables that we see either in the field or in the barn or on the road?
Yeah, I think now it's about learning. I think we've got the systems in place, the variable conditions. The more that these trucks and these cars and other vehicles drive, the more they learn from these conditions. Sensors on the car go beyond just visibility and radar. It could be like temperature sensors. You could have sensors in the tires or in the wheel wells just to work that out underneath the car. So I think that they're learning, and that's why it's taking a while for it to just be switched on and to let everyone self-drive their cars, because there's a level of trust that we need to build, and that comes from experience.
So some of that is also this, when you talk about exponential growth or exponential technology, is the ability of machines to learn themselves and to to analyze scenarios and learn from experience?
Yeah, so all the machines and all the sensors in the field, all the data, whether it's internal to your farm or external from other farms or from various geological surveys or whatever, all comes into a huge database. You know, AI can go through that and take data in real time and make decisions. And once like we get to that point, farmers are going to start thinking about sharing their data as well in secure ways, probably anonymous and aggregated. But that's going to lead to a better level of knowledge across Canada as well. I think that leads to a lot better decision making in farming.
And we're already starting to see that, or at the beginning stages of that when it comes to some companies that are placing sensors of the basic kind so far in the field.
Absolutely. So we've already got, you know, a number of companies that are putting sensors in, you know, orchards and fields just to make sure that, you know, you can understand what's happening. You've got drones that can fly over the top and take geospatial data, understand crop health even. So it's there. So the data collection mechanisms are there. The price is going to come down. The usage is going to go up, and it's going to grow exponentially within the farming industry.
Okay. So this leads into I think maybe the final topic or theme around this, Nick, and that is the whole man versus machine and movies playing up the idea that robots are going to take over the world and that sort of thing. Are there vulnerabilities, or are we going to have vulnerabilities in terms of farming or food production because of reliance on these machines and I guess, first of all, having people that understand how they work?
Yeah, so I think you're going to see security as being a major role in farming. I think either external companies are going to provide services, or you're going to have actual people in larger operations. And within that, it's because you've got all your sensors and all your data. You've got multiple points of access to the farm then. So really locking it down and making sure that there is security around it is going to be of utmost importance. I'm sort of impressing that a lot on tech tours to the farmers as we make these decisions. Make sure that the people providing the hardware and the software are actually addressing these things to a point where you're comfortable, and it does have the penetration testing, and security is utmost as a function within your farm. And the people sort of changing roles within the farm, they're going to become data scientists, knowledge brokers. They're going to be doing things, you know, thinking rather than out in the fields doing. And I think that leads us to a point where farmers become constant innovators, and research and development is key to an operation.
Okay. That triggered another thought, though, in my mind, and that is, are we going to see social issues from all these people having to change jobs or roles disappearing?
So education is going to be really important. So we have to put in educational institutions and processes. Universities, online courses are going to have to redress the balance of knowledge. So people are going to have to retrain. But, you know, that's been happening for a long time anyway. So you know, it's just people that have been driving for like 30 years. It's going to be tough for them to retrain. But, like, they're going to need some help. So as long as there's support systems in place that are human-based as well as computer-based, I think we'll be okay.
Well, thanks for your time, Nick, and it's been a pleasure riding the bus with you, and look forward to the rest of the trip.
Yeah, thank you very much.